ASP is proud to announce the third annual Images of Distinction Image Competition. This is going to be held February 17th and 18th, 2023.
All right.
And we're here, ASP IOD juror Tim Meyer. Tell me about Tim Meyer.
Wow. Been a juror, I guess now, PPA juror for, I guess maybe 6 years. I'm not sure. It depends on how you do the math. Currently, actually, I had a career as a portrait photographer, wedding photographer, event photographer for like 35 plus years, and then got hired by a funny little place called Brooks Institute. And I taught there for 12 before they closed, but I was head of the portrait division there. And then currently, I teach up at a college in Lancaster, California, just north of Los Angeles, and have been there for just about 5 years. But teach full time there and really enjoy it. So I still photograph, do my own fine art work, do some commercial work, but mostly I spend my time teaching.
Cool. Hey, tell me about your judge's journey and why you became a juror.
Um, I started out as like everyone else, trying to understand the juror system and doing sometimes well, sometimes not so well with my images.
Been there,
And
done that.
then, you know that one? Yeah. And I'd still actually do sometimes well and sometimes not so well. But I noticed first off when I started actually entering print competition, my work, even though I did work for a well-established and very successful portrait photographer, well known at that, I noticed that my work got exponentially better when I started entering. And when I started judging on the local level, I noticed that my work got even better still. So I think there's a kind of an art and a craft, and maybe even like a mindset, I guess, when it comes to not only judging, but maybe even the people we judge and the work that we judge. And so I was interested in learning that and becoming involved in that.
Okay, other than impact, which one of the 12 elements tends to grab your attention?
That's a really good question. um, I would say creativity, although I have to say that I probably come from a little bit different background than most because I do have two master's degrees in art. And so I use a lot of big words, lots of syllables sometimes. I think they actually have a requirement that I'm not allowed to use a word with more than 2.5 to 3 syllables once or twice
It's
per.
actually four, but that's
Is it
okay.
four?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I know a fair amount about art history, photographing and otherwise. And so I often see images that might be an homage to something that was done years ago, or with an understanding of a style. Because I study it, I really appreciate the ebb and flow of different looks and different styles. And so maybe because of that, I come from a different perspective, and I really look for work that's kind of outside of uh, perhaps the PPA look and might be more towards the historical or the contemporary fine art look. Challenge yourself to become the best at what you do, and that really actually requires that you identify what it is that you do. So maybe you're a wedding photographer, and maybe you work in a particular culture. And so within that culture, they have their own norms and the things they love, et cetera. And so I would challenge yourself to be the best in that. But then I would also uh, look for continually new things within that genre. So I was always looking for new things that I could make sure I incorporated into my quiver to challenge myself and also make myself better. So
Cool.
creativity, I think, is in that category. I'm looking for new and creative things all the time.
How has image competition been a help to you personally and to your business?
When I first started out, I was really kind of merit minding in the sense that I really wanted my work to get in. I wanted to get my master's, and I was looking for validation that I was doing good stuff. So that worked out really well. And I think as you go further and further along, if you hang out long enough, I find a lot of friends I talk to that have been around a while are still entering print competition, not necessarily to get the merits or the degrees, but they are looking to see, they're trying new ideas, which is what I'm doing. I'm trying new ideas and trying for new looks. And I'm trying to see if I'm using the PPA judges as a guide as to whether or not they're totally getting what I'm trying to do or not. So sometimes I may have a harebrained idea and say, man, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. And I put it in front of judges and none of them get it. It's like, maybe I still need to work on that. So,
So a sounding board.
yeah, very much so. But I mean, because of the knowledge, and I mean, I think PPA prepares their judges better than anybody else I know, and so there's a consistency there. It's not perfect, but I think it's the best consistency I've ever seen. So that it's a great sounding board for me.
Sweet. Any ideas, words of wisdom from Tim to newer people coming into image competition?
So be young, be courageous, be fresh, be patient, and find out. I mean, listen with big ears, because that's probably the thing I've learned most, is that whatever I put in, whatever my expectations are, whatever I think they're going to talk about, is almost always wrong. And I've been doing it for a while and I have a lot of experience. So, and that's really the beauty of the system. You throw things in there and they don't even see them. And it's like, oh, I've been working on that for years and you were talking about the color over there and the whatever. So, patience.
All right, Tim Meyer, one of our judges for ASP Images of Distinction. Thanks, Tim.
Hey, appreciate it.
Mark your calendars now and get ready for the ASP Images of Distinction.